this is where, okay. Good evening, everyone. The time is 5:39. I'm calling to order this special meeting of the ECCL Governance Committee. This meeting is being conducted in hybrid format. You can join us here at the Emeryville Center of Community Life, Building A, or through Zoom on the information provided on the posted agenda. At this time, I will call for the roll call.
Member Bowders is absent. Member Carr?
Present.
Member Mora? Member Pryforce is currently absent. Member Welch?
Here.
Member Donaldson is absent. Member Chagoya?
Here. And thanks for pronouncing it correctly.
Member Collins?
Present.
Member Solis? That's absent. And Member Van Geffen?
Present.
Thank you, members. At this time, I will call for public comment. Any members of the public wanting to make public comment on any item on the agenda can do so now. No? Okay. No public comment. Pedro, did we receive any online speaker cards?
I have not received any.
Okay. Seeing and hearing no current speakers and having no online speaker cards, I am closing public comment. Item 4 is approval of the action minutes. Members, we have 2 action minutes to approve. November 3rd, 2022 regular meeting minutes and May 4th, 2023 special meeting minutes. Did everyone take time to review the minutes? Any changes, edits, adjustments to the minutes? Seeing and hearing none, do I have a motion?
I motion to pass as presented.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Assistant City Manager, could you please do the roll?
Yes. Member Carr?
Aye.
Member Mora? Aye. Member Pryforce?
Aye.
Member Welch?
Aye.
Member Chagoya?
Yes.
Member Collins?
Yes.
And Member Van Geffen?
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 5, information items. 5.1, solar presentation update.
We have Jody from the school district.
Good evening, Governance Committee. I'm going to present on the progress update for the solar project. At this point, we've completed the parking lot and field arrays that were constructed over the summer. We have had just several challenges. The main one was maintaining the timeline to open the parking lot prior to the school starting. We encountered some underground utilities which caused a delay in the drilling of some of the column footings. We've also encountered supply chain issues with some electrical components. We have the main switchgear to interconnect the arrays is delayed and won't be in till spring of 24. We did some landscape restoration as part of phase 1, part of which was replanting 5 trees that we had to take out of the parking lot to make, for that array, and one of the arrays in the parking lot. We installed some new artificial turf down on the berms on the lower playground, as well as the addition of a new seating area under the array next to the field. Just here's a picture highlighting some of the finished product, almost finished. We still have some additional park bench seating and tables going in, which should be happening in the next 4 to 6 weeks. But here you see the turf and some bleachers that we put under that field canopy. Here's a few of the new trees that we planted where we currently, or previously, there were none that existed there, along with the new turf as well. The next phase is the rooftop, which was approved by the Division of State Architect for construction. That was approved early in October. Part of their review required the removal of 30 of the solar panels from the rooftop arrays. This due to things like existing roof penetrations and you know, downspouts and things like that. We had to they were weren't within acceptable clearance. So we had to remove 30 panels, which translated into less than a 2% reduction of our achievement towards the net zero energy at the ECCL. Tentative construction is to start in, well, this says December 23, January to 24, but the recent update is we're looking at February of 24 to start the rooftop. The impact to the site will be, I'd say, minimal compared to the parking lot where we had to close it down. For the rooftop, we'll be requiring to put scaffolding to access so the contractors can access the rooftops and do the work. We'll be cordoning off a section of the lower playground again to store and stage the materials. There will be a noise impact to the upper floor classrooms in building C and D, and we're working on bringing those up for discussion to come up with a plan on how to manage that. The battery energy storage solution, or BESS, is is currently under DSA review. We had to some of their inspection regulations required us to remove or relocate the planned location of the BESS. We've also decided to put in a fenced-in enclosure around the BESS so that it isn't subjected to tampering with or theft or anything. And this is just a bird's eye of the parking lot with the corner of Building E showing the location, the new location of the BESS with its enclosure, which is next to the parking lot entrance and outside of the receiving warehouse on Building E. To summarize, we're looking at a completion of the second phase of the rooftop, the rooftop in spring of 23-24 or summer fiscal year 24-25. More realistically, probably in the summer 24-25 fiscal year, which will ultimately mean we will expect to realize finally the electric bill savings in the fiscal year 24-25. And that was all for my presentation on the solar. See if there's any questions from the.
Thank you very much. Members, any questions? Seeing and hearing none, thank you very much.
You.
Item 5.2, capital presentation update.
Okay, now I'll move on to the capital. Okay, so let's see. First slide is a capital budget and payment schedule. Just to review, the contributions are 23% by the city, 77% by the district. By the end of this fiscal year, the capital reserve account will have collected $929,384. And here on the table below, showing the contributions of each year, the account balances, and the increases over the increase that is on year 5 of the contributions. This is a table showing the previous capital expenses since 2016. So they're all listed out there, totaling or totaling a $255,185 spent out of the capital reserve since 2016. These are current capital expenses that we are either in progress on or have been completed during the previous fiscal year but not yet billed. So you see these items here where some of them are planned, some of them are unforeseen, some of them have yet to start, but they're being planned right now. The total on those is at $288,000 for expenses for the 23-24 year. This table here shows the future capital expenses or projects that are planned for fiscal year 24 through 27. So that's 3 years of projects that we're planning for. And as you can see, the current estimated expenses is at $1 million. And that was it for my capital presentation, if there's any questions.
Members, any questions?
One question with the nearly $1 million estimated for interior and exterior painting. Do we actually anticipate needing all of that?
The need, is that what the question is? Or
That was estimated, I'm assuming, worst-case scenario, but do we actually anticipate needing that nearly $1 million in painting budget?
I don't think so in painting, right? I mean, the way we're looking at it, for this year, we're planning to do a refresh of some of the exterior painting, and then addressing that need as it comes up. I think the buildings are in relatively good shape as far as that goes. We handle a lot of painting in-house on the interior side during the summer break. So I think as long as we continue with our normal routine stuff, that we can start phasing in painting over the next few years, but I don't see it taking all that expenditure. Yeah.
Any other questions from any other members? Seeing and hearing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item 5.3, update on third-party rental revenue.
The Community Services Director, Rebecca Sermeno, is out ill, but she did share with me that year-to-date, we have collected about $75,000 for all third-party rentals that come in, from field rentals to facilities to the pool and the gymnasium. So you will see in the budget report, there is an estimate that we won't be meeting the revenue projection of, I believe it was going to be 225, and then it will be going down to 210. That's due to a few different factors: changes in program schedule for sports and activities, to loss of some rentals due to either lifeguards in some of the pool areas. There have been some situations where we've had that, and then some cancellations due to having to have repairs done to some equipment, so that I think some of the ongoing rentals that like the church group weren't able to happen a few times. So a couple of those things, and expected issues potentially with some solar project stuff that maybe might limit is we're just trying to be conservative, but hopefully it's better than that at the end of the year.
Is that all?
Yes.
All right. Members, any questions? Member Pryforce?
I just want to give a shout out to Community Services for all you did to help with the Emory High reunion. I gave that shout out at the Community Services meeting, but I want to give a special shout out to the team, to our superintendent, and everyone who was involved in hosting the Emory High reunion. It was well received. They felt welcomed. They felt warmed. And from everything I've been told, they had a really grand old time. And so thank you for welcoming these students who are much older now back to their alma mater. So thank you.
Any other questions? All right, moving to item 6, action items. Item 6.1, approval of operation maintenance budget, fiscal year 23-24 mid-year adjustments.
Good evening, council members and board members. This evening, we are looking at this spreadsheet for maintenance budget from fiscal year 2021 to the current year 23-24. But we are only paying attention to the last two columns on this spreadsheet, which is one, the 23-24 original budget of $1.9 million. And right now, the budget was revised as of October 30th, 2023, to $2 million on the O&M maintenance budget. And we are looking from the top, which is the wear and use, the contributions from the city and the school, and also the third-party rental, which was reduced from $225,000 to $210,000. So, and then the item B is the expenditures. You can see for the salaries, we are looking at 5 custodian positions. And also the overtime, the sub-budget, and the admin salaries budget. And then we are also looking at all the non-salary budgets. Basically, there is only a tiny minor changes from the original budget to the first interim budget. And it's about less than 1% increase. So any questions on the budget on the maintenance?
Members, any questions? Member Moore.
Thank you. Would you be able to expand on the... Can you please use the microphone? Thank you. Could you give any additional details on the line item for the classified hourly, the clerical support for close to $9,000 that didn't occur the previous 2 years, and then 3 years ago it was just like a few $100s?
Okay, this is a new change starting for this year, and I'm going to have Jody to explain a bit more on the new need from his office.
Sure. To answer that, it was a new need that came up, in particular over the summer while managing the projects that were taking place. There was a need for clerical support in the maintenance operations office to help with things that there wasn't enough time to get to in-house, or by myself, I guess. And so also with some of the goals of the department as far as, working on our asset management and our work order software, there's been a need for some more of those type of data entry type tasks that I've been relying on to help better the overall, operation side of the maintenance and operations department. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Members, any other questions? No? This is an action item. So do we have a motion to approve the mid-year adjustments?
I move approval.
I second.
Motion and a second. Mr. Assistant City Manager, the roll, please.
Member Carr?
Aye.
Member Mora?
Aye.
Member Pryforce?
Aye.
Member Welch?
Aye.
Member Chagoya?
Yes.
Member Collins?
Yes.
And Member Van Geffen?
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 6.2, approval of capital fiscal year 23-24 mid-year adjustments.
Who's presenting on that, Jody or Dora?
Do we know who's presenting on the item?
Dora, with regards to the mid-year adjustments, I'm not sure Dora? Oh, you okay? Let's take a moment.
The capital versus the previous one that we approved was the operating and maintenance, so this is the capital?
Yes.
Pedro, this is the one that I said we don't have any budget adjustment for the capital reserve. Remember?
It's the same as last time, so we don't need any adjustment?
Yeah,
Okay.
So if there's no adjustment, are we still voting on it? Do we still need to then
If
move
there's
it?
no change, then we don't need to take an action, so we can.
Okay.
I will add, because I think there was a question last time from the committee that I want to make sure we do bring up, that the ECCL Administrative JOA Committee, which is the superintendent, city manager, and ECCL staff, did review the CIP schedule and funding for it. And at this time, we do feel we have a program to offset most of the costs. Of course, of any unforeseen big things that might come up, we'd have to come back, but we're reevaluating continuously. And if something does come up in the future, we'll try to bring it up at the next meeting to the committee's attention if there needs to be a change, or a future meeting after that. But at this time, we don't feel there is a need for a change. We do feel, as mentioned earlier by Jody, that, some of the costs that's being estimated of the $1 million can be deferred depending on things that might have came up before that can be pushed out, so that we have enough funding on what's being collected by the city and district into the capital improvement program. So I just wanted to make sure we did address that question that was brought up last time, and then any future issues that come up, we'll bring it back to the committee.
Thank you. Members, any follow-up questions to that statement? All right, thank you. Item 7, update from the Administrative Committee, which is, I'm guessing, was that the update?
That was part of that, I guess. Could have waited there, sorry. But Superintendent Dr. Scott, do you have anything else to add?
No, nothing to add, but just a notice that we will be having our Winter Music and Art Showcase. So I just wanted to invite everyone out, which is Wednesday, December 14th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. in the cafeteria. And many thanks to the city for inviting us for the parade. Our cheer squad was a part of that. It's just great to be able to build community with each other. So I want to say thank you for that.
Thank you, Dr. Scott. Member Pryforce?
Are we advertising that, social media, sharing about the event on our social media?
Which one?
The prior event mentioned.
Definitely share it with us, and we'll get it out to the community, too.
Yes, will do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 8, future agenda items. Member Collins?
Yes. I would like to put on the agenda if we can possibly adjust our time for the meeting to 6 p.m. versus 5:30.
Is there an agreement to place that on the, as an agenda, future agenda item? To adjust?
Can I second that motion? Or-
I didn't
It's
think
it's just a general vote.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yes? Member? Okay. We have a majority
we have-
support to place that on the agenda. Thank you. Any other future agenda items from any other members? Thank you. Seeing and hearing none. Item 9, announcements and member comments. Any announcements or member comments from anyone? Last call. All right, well. Time is 6:03 and this meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
On a tight ship.
Oh, yes. Everyone get to your respective locations safely.
The new mayor.